Hey Patreon, once again guys, thank you for your support. So this is going to be the second version of this Twins Tampa Bay Buccaneers scheme that we're using. It's a twin tight end run scheme. Base formation we're going to come out of is going to be the single back wing close, and we're going to go ahead and jump into wing stack as another formation, and also the deuce close is another formation. Another formation we'll jump into is going to be the deuce close gun, and then also the wing stack. And actually I discovered in this particular formation, it's a glitch play, this power O, that actually is something that is weird. It's a glitch. It literally is a glitch in the game, and it only can happen if you come out of another formation to set this up. Now, when we're actually going to set this up, the formation up, the wing close, we're going to go ahead and use the primary play, which is going to be the wing or the wide zone play. And the reason we're going to use wide zone is going to allow me to run left or right, whereas some of the run plays are forced me to go only one direction. Audibles we're going to leave as the doubles out. This is a great inside passing, quick snap pass. I've tooled around in different plays. I still think the duo is really good to get like a double team in the middle of the offense and allow you to go and run right up the middle. This is another great play, the motion out and up. It's got good man and zone beaters. And then the play that I threw into the scheme, taking out some other plays, is the play action cross. You got nice little crossing routes, and we got a way to hit the corner with this. Now, out of the huddle, we're going to call the wide zone. And then we're just going to run against random defenses. But I want to show you, we have access to the single back wing stack. We have access to single back deuce close, and then the gun wing stack. But I want to show you this particular play. We're going to come back to this again. What's cool about this play, looks like it's a standard power O, but it's actually a quarterback run. See how Jackson just comes off the line like a blazing, runner from the quarterback. What this does is it allows you to attack your opponent with a quick run with a quarterback, which you're not going to be expecting. Now, I haven't found that it's a super OP play. It's not super like something I could say I could build the entire scheme around it, but it is good to have in your little back pocket if you want to go ahead and run your quarterback and maybe pick up some tough yards with a little thing. So you can see like the animation with this is just really weird the way it's set up. So we're going to come back to this formation and just show you how we can access the stuff. But this is a good play to have in your back pocket if you got a 4th and short or a goal line situation where you want to plug that ball in. Now the primary running play we're going to use is going to be this wide zone. And the reason I threw this back in the scheme is that I found that if you flip this wide zone on the weak side of the formation, you get really good blocking, and sometimes you could break a big run against your opponent. So let's just go ahead and show this to you. We're going to go ahead and run it to the back side, and if I can cut right up here in between the tackle and the guard, you can pick up some pretty good yards against your opponent unless he's using his defender down there. So that's what I do like about this here play. You can see the blocking is really OP right there. And sometimes if they're playing certain formations, they'll actually, the defender. Now if you take a look at the linebacker over the top of the left tackle, a lot of times he's not going to attack the gap, and sometimes you can actually peel off a huge run against your opponent. Now obviously the play is set to go off to the right side, but if you got one less guy on the box on the left side, you can go ahead and just run that ball off the left side, and I picked up some pretty good yards while I'm practicing it against my opponents in a real game. But the play is designed to go off to the right side, and since you got like a couple tight ends, you can actually hit your opponent that way. So this is essentially the structure of this particular formation I like a lot. Now, if I got an opponent that's running a lot of man coverages, I can go in and jump into the doubles out. What I have found is I want to go ahead and make it easier for me to make a fast progression and get rid of the ball. This is the goal of this play is to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. I don't want to wait for any of these routes to develop. My first read is going to be Flowers, and I'm going to be looking for Andrews, and then I'll look for Likely over the top, and then take off or throw the ball away. If I get single coverage out here, I'm going to throw that hitch. Every single time. All I'm really going to do is watch the defender over on the inside to see if he actually comes out and falls back in the zone. And then if he does fall back in the zone, I'm going to go ahead and throw the tight end on the backside, because that means it's going to be like a cloud coverage on both sides. So let's just show you just a replay. I'm watching this defender to see if he falls back. If he falls back in zone, I'm basically going over and looking at this route right here, because a lot of times what happens is this cloud coverage and this guy has to go ahead and play the sideline. And this route combination right here, and with this guy clearing out when it's zone, is going to be able to go ahead and pop my opponent for an easy completion right there. So this is what I like about this play. So this is a play that I like to use if I just want to get rid of the ball really quick. Single coverage, inside leverage, and just a little hitch. I could do a curl route, but I do like the depth of the hitch route because it doesn't get into the route with likely over the top. And you can see how you can throw that ball right there. And that's why I do the hitch route. If I had a curl route, there's going to be another defender in that area. So let's go into instant replay and kind of show you how this looks right here. I got a curl right here, and this guy actually has to fall back. I've got obviously this route that I could have got rid of already, but sometimes your user is going to come in there and start playing that route if you hit him a couple times. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up this route on the backside, this deep little post, and you're just going to go ahead a low ball past that and just try to cut it off in front of the third defender on that backside. So if you got a single high safety like this, this is a really good play to go ahead and throw into your scheme. So once again, area gets cleared. If not, I'm just going to go and throw that side. I really don't look to the sideline pass with a quick out on the backside. It's just not what I'm looking for the most part. Now, motion out and up. Basically, with this play, I like to do a post route, and all I'm going to do is watch Bateman, and when he motions in, if the defender actually carries over him, it basically lines up with him. That means it's actually man coverage, and I can hit likely, Andrews likely, and then Flowers over the top. If it is zone, if the defender doesn't float, basically I'm going to look to Andrews, then Bateman, then Flowers based on it. So you can see this is zone coverage. My hot read is going to be this underneath route right here. I want to go ahead and make sure that my opponent knows I'm going to get rid of the ball fast. I want him cheating down with this particular play. I'm making sure that actually he's trying to go ahead and take away that fast route. So I've got the little crosser right there. And what's cool about it is that if he floats or cherries, that you can actually go ahead and hit that route right there. It kind of sticks in the little zone area. I built in the post route is a progression over the top of that drag route, and I'm squeezing it in. I'm throwing that in there. I generally don't want to throw past a defender like that, but that's why I built that up. Let's go ahead and see if we get ourselves any kind of man coverage. If we get man coverage, basically the corner route is going to be the area I'm going to go to. You can see right there, it was like a hard coverage out there, so the guy actually came down and played that. But a lot of times it's a man read that I'm going to be looking for with this. So let's see if Bateman gets followed. I don't think he is. Okay, he does get followed. All right, so now the corner should be open because the defender's really not out there against any kind of a man read, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and pop that. Now, the last play I threw into the scheme is going to be this play action cross. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a corner out like this. And he's going to be my first read because those crossing routes by Andrews and by Bateman take a long time to develop. On the deep post by Flowers, unless it's man coverage, a man blitz, I'm not going to throw that at all. It's just a clear out route for me, just trying to open things up. And basically it puts me in a situation where I can basically attack my opponent on both sidelines. I got a high and low read off to the left, and I've got basically that corner out against man single coverage. Defenders float. Here's your deep crosser that you can pick up some pretty good yards in that type of situation. And I've also got the check down with the cross. The only problem I don't like about this is it is play action. So if it is a heavy blitz, you can get yourself caught up behind the line, but you can see right here that deep crosser is available for you. You can pick up some pretty easy yards. And after you've actually hit your opponent with some run plays, what's cool about this is that it just makes it, he's got to be very conscious of the run. He might start jumping into man coverage. You start making aggressive adjustments to try to stop the run. And that's just kind of gives you a large advantage against your opponent if he's got to defend against the run, because now he's going to become a little bit more predictable. Now let's go ahead and jump into some of the other formations in this next setup. Now, next formation we take a look at is going to be the wing stacked, and what makes this is something going to audible into. What makes this formation great is this halfback stretch play. Like, it gets really good double teams. It's a good play to go and throw a sprinkle into your scheme. I did include a halfback zone as a way to play off the stretch. So if a guy starts overshooting the stretch, you can use the zone play. Flanker spot is another good play to go ahead and use down in a money situation in a third or fourth down, because you got like these underneath routes you can hit against your opponent. And then you also can throw in this double in shot play. There's a specific setup that I set up. It's a shot play that I'm going to go ahead and maybe throw maybe once or twice in a game, but really more once, just to see if I can get away with it against my opponent and get him out of position. Now, once again, we're going to go ahead and use our base play. It's going to be the wide zone of the single back wing close, and we're going to go ahead and audible into it. So when I audible into this, the stretch play is going to be the primary play, and all I'm going to do is watch that defender on the outside to see if he carries over, and that's going to tell me whether it's man or zone coverage. And I like to go to the backside with this here play, because what happens is it gives me a count advantage by running the ball like that. So if the defender actually goes ahead and carries over, like so, you can see how the extra defender carries over like that, then I know I don't have the count on that backside, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to run against my opponent if he has a defender that carries. So really what I do is I really look just to see if the defender carries, and then I just quickly go ahead and flip the play and run it that direction. If he does carry, I can go to the opposite side, but that's where you want to have that extra defender out of that area so you get better blocking on the one side. So let's go ahead and jump into this again. Flip it over. Okay, so the formation flips with the cover 3, but I just got better blocking, and I've actually picked up some pretty good yards with it. So I do like this particular play, and if I get some good seal blocking with the tackle, a lot of times I can pick up some pretty good yards. See how that corner carries over? That means I've got some type of man coverage, and then I can always go to the weak side. Now, what happens is when you start jumping into this play and you're running against your opponent, a lot of times they're going to overcommit. So that's where you go and throw into the scheme just a zone play. It allows you to attack your opponent right up the middle of the field, forces him to defend against that. It is a weak side zone, so it allows you to go ahead and attack your opponent that way, right up the middle. So we're going to have pretty much good blocking off to the right side, and it's just basically attacking your opponent right up the middle with the ball. So I'm not really breaking any kind of stuff right there. So what I like to do is I like to throw in this flanker spot play, and I don't like how the hitches are set up. So what I like to do is I like to streak up this one tight end to clear him out, and that basically opens up the over-the-top coverage. But the first area I'm going to go to is this little route right here. Is going to be that little hitch route underneath, because he's kind of like in the hash marks, and it is not an easy area for defenders to fall into, and it actually gives you a fairly easy read. So we're going to go ahead and just look to that. Okay, guys, I got some pressure coming off the edge. I'm not be able to get the ball off. My guys are getting hit with each other. So let's go ahead and see if we can do this once again. Guy carries over to the left. That typically tells you it's man coverage. So you could look to Bateman off the side. Pressure coming off the edge right there. So we're going to go ahead and keep. We're going to block that tight end as an option on the inside. This is going to give me a 6 blocker. So that's just another way to look at it. So you got your little hitch and pick up some easy yards. This is a good thing to do against your opponent. If you need just 5 or 6 yards against them, you can go ahead and run this. So I'm blocking this because I've got these edge blitzers coming off the edge and kind of messing me up a little bit. But what I love about that particular play is that it's easy progressions and easy reads. I don't look to the running back route at all with this particular play. Really all I'm looking to is just this combination right here and just making a either high-low progression. I can throw this regardless. We can see the little spot route right there. So I did make the right progression and read actually threw this out route against man coverage. A lot of times he's going to get leverage, and I'm going to have an easy shot to the sideline, and sometimes I can rack that for more yards. And of course you got this crossing route over the top that he's got inside leverage against this defender, so that he's going to get separation. He's got body positioning against him, so I can throw that ball right there. Now I can't streak up the likely guy right there. That kind of clears out a deep defender. But you can see how that route right there, since I got rid of it a little bit too early and I pass lead it inside, the wide receiver basically just got out. So let's see here. Rotation with the coverage. That means it's still zone coverages. And then we're just going to go and check it down underneath. But the way this thing's structured is that deep crossing route by the tight end, it basically becomes another area that you can use against your opponent depending on whether he's blitzing you or a lot. So right now I'm getting some pressure off the edges with this particular coverage I'm going against. I should be going ahead and trying to do that. I'm trying to hit that crossing route by the tight end. And those are things you got to take in consideration against your opponent. If he's using a lot of heavy blitzing against you, can you actually hit that crossing route by the number 2 wide receiver? But you can see, okay, here you go. You can see how I actually got body position right there. Just got knocked out by that defender out there. So just going to set this up once again to see if I can go ahead and complete this. Guys don't slide, so it's not man coverage. Let's see if we get some hold with the defensive line. We do. And here you go. All right, so be able to get that completion. I could have racked that, but maybe took that for a house play for that. The last play we're going to take a look at is going to be this doubles in shot. And what I like to do with this is I like to do a curl route because this actually gets some pretty good separation. And I'm going to streak this guy up. And I think what I was doing is custom stemming this some yards just to go ahead and just make things interesting. But you've got this route right here, which you can get really good separation and actually do that. I'm pass leading with my quarterback, and that's just something you really can't do with this roster. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this set up again. I'm going to go ahead and set this up. So we're going to set this up with a streak. Play action. Got the curl. Fast read against man read. This kind of forces your opponent in a limbo where he's going to get himself out of position. With this, I streak up the tight end likely, because what that does is it actually goes ahead and clears out the zone. Now you've got this route right here against man coverage that you can hit. That's actually probably a better, faster read against man coverage. Let's see what our opponent does on this next setup. Set this up once again. We'll see if we can get the crosser. Can. There you go. So here's your huge play opportunity. Nice deep crosser, but you got to make sure that you don't show this to your opponent. You can get away with this maybe once or twice, but for the most part, it's not something you could do on a regular basis. And if you give yourself another opportunity to check something down, that'll be great. So this is like another play that you can throw in to attack your opponent off to the right side opposed to the left. So let's go and jump into the other formation. Now, formation I'm jumping into a lot is this deuce close. This particular formation, I've got the following audible set up. I've got spacing switch, which is a really easy passing concept you can use. I jumped into the halfback wham. This is really good a play to go ahead and throw into your scheme. You could flip it either side, but what's cool about this is that it allows you to go ahead and attack basically like a 43 front or 61 front. Stretch play is just something to sprinkle in, and then a play action X post. So not a play I use a lot, but it is a good play to go and hit your opponent for some pretty big yards. Now once again, we're always going to come out of this particular play, which is going to be the wide zone. We're going to run random defenses, and we're going to go ahead and jump into basically this halfback's wham. What I like about this here play is that it's really good against an uncovered center, and it gets nice little blocking on the inside, and that tight end will actually come in and actually chip away a defensive lineman. What's cool about it too is that you can go and flip it and just have that wham come from the other side. You can see how, like, if you got a really good defensive tackle, you need to have a better blocker. A tight end will actually do that. So that's what I do like about the wham play. So go ahead and jump into this again. A little bit better of a run play to go and do against like kind of a 43 defense where the center's not covered. with a nose tackle. So that's probably just a better ideal situation. So if I do see some kind of a front like this, I would rather go ahead and jump into a play where I'm going to have a stretch play. And this is going to basically get a hat on a hat, and just go ahead and run to the weak side of the formation. And what's cool about having the stretch and having the balance like this is you can flip this either way that you want. So you can see you've got pretty much, you have your dealer's choice, whatever direction you want to go with this. But I've got a two-headed rushing attack that I can go either way against my opponent. That's what I like about it. Now, from passing situation, this is how I run this. You can run this flipped if you wanted to, but I like to go and do a deep curl with flowers. It's similar to the doubles play, and against man coverage, I'm going to throw that hitch right there. If it's zone coverage, basically I'm going to make progressions from left to right. So set this up like so. Watch defenders, they kind of float up. And okay, so that was a little bit fast, bad release right there. I really don't get into a lot of trouble with that. Sometimes the CPU will actually make me throw a bad read like that, but a lot of times what's going to happen is this route is going to get, that running back route is going to clear things out. Now, let's go ahead and show you how you can do this on either side. So what's cool about this is you can mess your opponent up and not give him any kind of tendencies whatsoever. So now I can go and flip it to the other side and put him in a situation where he's going to have a hard time picking up on that. So that's what's cool about jumping into this formation from a standpoint of the balance of this is you can flip this particular play, have your little curl concept, and it allows you to go and hit your opponent on both sides of the field. Now, I don't really practice the flip version of this, so my timing's off, my button skill's off. But I'm one of these type of situations where I don't use all these plays. I don't spam a lot of these plays on a regular basis. So you can hit your opponent right over the middle of the field against man blitzes and stuff like that. Now the last play we're going to take a look at is going to be play action, play action X post cross. And really what it comes down to is we're looking for Bateman's route, trying to get him over the top, but I also want to give myself a fast release. So what I do is I actually use Andrews on an underneath route. And if it's man coverage, I'm going to look for that route immediately. Now, of course, Andrews basically got a monster release right there, and there was some people getting rubbed on that particular formation or that setup. But for the most part, I want to have that as a fast release. My progressions is really going to be the running back more than anything else. And then this crosser right here is just beautiful. It just gets really good separation. And once again, what's cool about this too, this particular play, is that you can flip it. You know what I mean? You can flip it and never give your opponent any kind of tell. If you're on one hash mark, you don't like it, you can go ahead and just flip the play. And it allows you to attack your opponent in both areas of the field, like crossing routes and stuff like that. So for me, more than anything else, it's about running the ball more than anything else with this scheme. But what I do love about this is that you've got some good running plays, you got stretch plays, and then the switch, and then basically the play action X post cross. Let's jump into the next formation. Now, next formation we're going to take a look at is going to be this wing stacked gun formation, and the audibles we're going to have is mesh spot, just a quick snap play that you want to go and use. I'm also going to use the read option against like 61 fronts. It's actually a pretty good play. And then another play I'm going to go ahead and throw in this scheme is going to be this smash drive. But the play that's really glitchy when you audible into this particular formation is this power O. This power O, for some particular reason, the way this thing's set up, it goes like a quarterback power O. So just really weird. Once again, my primary formation I'm going to come out of is going to be this wing close, and then the formation or the play I'm going to use is going to be the wing zone, allowing to attack my opponent. I'm going to do random plays. Now let's go ahead and jump into basically this formation right here. Power O. Watch what happens. It should be a run with the running back, but it actually is a run with the quarterback, and he gets an instantaneous release. The downside of this here play is that it doesn't freeze the defense, so the defense attacks the quarterback immediately and goes in the backfield. So this is like a good play to go and jump into. like in a 4th down situation, or if he's playing a light box, you know, you need to pick up only a couple yards. I picked up more with this single play, but it's not common. You know, the blocking is not that great. The defenders actually shoot past the line of scrimmage. So I don't know what to do with this. I haven't figured out what are the best defenses to do this. The animation and the way the thing sets up, it looks like it's really good, but for the most part, it really isn't. So let's see, so you can get out. You know, if you're good running with your quarterback, which I'm not, this might actually be a nice little play that you can throw into your scheme, just to catch your opponent off guard. Now, I've had some people I've played against that all they did was just run with their quarterback. So here you go. You see how these guys are just getting out there. It didn't really matter what defense it was going against. It was pretty much everybody was out there attacking the ball. So that's the only downside of it. But it is a little bit glitchy. I would say probably use it on a 4th down situation. If you get a guy that runs a light box, that might be something you want to do. But it might be good against, like, you know, 4th and 1, just need a yard, and you just want to catch your opponent off guard. Now, I would say the read option is probably a little bit better because that's going to force the defender to actually play the quarterback. So you're probably going to see how the blocking's a little bit better. Just better. The defense doesn't attack as much. You can always go ahead and still run with your quarterback. So we're going to go ahead and run with our quarterback. And that'll actually kind of give you just a better island to throw against your opponent. But the read option is just a little bit better of a run, more consistent run. If the center is uncovered, this actually works really good. You can see how the blocking is really, really good. But this is probably a better play to go and do. 2 pass plays. Now, I've actually tried, I played around with a couple other different pass plays with this, but mesh spot is just a quick snap play. Really what I'm looking for is man coverage. I'm watching Henry as my first read against man. If not, I'm looking for this little crossing route on the back side. And then if you want to go ahead and help yourself a little bit and give yourself a little bit more depth, what you can do is you can take this outside receiver, square receiver, and just put him up 10 yards or so. And that actually will give you an opportunity to go ahead and get a nice little completion. Now, so that's one of the things that I love about mesh is that if he plays man coverage, you get past that defender, you just lob that ball up, and you can just go ahead and throw that ball right over the defender. If the guys float, here's your crosser. Okay, see how that guy just falls right into that zone. So it's like you got to get yourself more depth with that crosser so the defenders don't fall into it. And I've tried to squeeze in some other type of plays before. All right, so we got that up to about 20 yards. Let's see if these guys float up. All right, so you're going to float up. All right, here you go. So if you get more depth on the end route, he's going to get underneath the deep blues, and you'll be able to go and throw that deep crosser. You just have to make sure that you set that up correctly. So just 2 notches up. Got man coverage. I just one head aggressive catch that. I typically don't throw the backside mesh concept, which essentially is that other guy right there, so it's going to be likely. I don't really throw it, but it is actually, you can see how he's pretty naked on the backside. So that's something you want to take a look at against man coverages too. So if he uses away the running back, you just come back to the other side on that side right there. So here's your setup against zone or man coverage. You've got the depth. See how you actually just, because you take that depth up another 10 yards, the defenders are not going to react to it. So this is what's cool about it. Now, smash drive, basically have left that in a situation where I've got the guy streaked up. And then another thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and do a deep post with likely over the top. I don't look to Henry at all. It just really isn't worth it. But I'm going to look for the corner out first to see if I actually get the leverage. I throw that. I've got the check down with the drag underneath. So let's go ahead and set this up. Smash drive, streak, and I'm going to do a post with the inside tight end right there. What's cool about this is you've got this route that should get cleared out by that corner streak route. And you can see there's nobody in that area. So if people are floating down, you can look above it. If people are not in the area, you just go ahead and just throw right over the top of it. Yeah, let's go ahead and set this up once again. Got a post. So just checked it underneath. And here's your backside post route that you can use against your opponent. I don't look to that running back route. I'm sure if you wanted to, you can go ahead and make a thing out of it. So in other words, how would you set that up? So we could do something like this, or okay. Or actually what you could do, something like that. And this kind of gives you a high-low on the backside. So you can, I don't look that. I try to quick snap this type of play, but it's really all about working, you know, those other type of plays right there. And then also this, I don't know what to do with this QB glitchy play. It doesn't work as well as I want to. But you can see, like, yeah, man, if I need like just yard or something like that, I can jump into that really quick and just do a quick QB sprint right there. So let's go and jump into last. Now, the last formation I'm really using the scheme is going to be this deuce close. And in particular, I built the scheme out for this play, which is going to be the 0-1 trap. I like this because if I got an uncovered center, I can go ahead and run the ball with the trap play and get really good yards. But the jab play that I discovered in this scheme is going to be the corner go flat. It's got that inside whip route that is really, really awesome. I really look for, you know, basically the whip route on the left side, but you can obviously do the whip route off the right side. I decided to throw in a mesh again. This kind of just blends things up. And then another play I'm going to throw in is going to be the play action post cross. This is going to build off of the crossing formation we did recently. So let's go ahead and jump into the base formation. Base play we're going to go ahead and use in this scheme to reach us. I'm going to go ahead and use this halfback zone. And then we're just do random plays. So this particular play right here is going to be the 0-1 trap. This is not good against basically a covered center like so. He's not going to get as good of depth, even though that play worked out for me. We'll see if we get some type of uncovered. Okay, so this is going to be all covered stuff up. But I like the 0-1 trap just because it's a good play against that uncovered centered look, and you can see how the blocking gets to the next level. It's just a really good play to have into your arsenal for your run. Let's take a look at the passing play in particular. This corner goes flat. I just run this play stock. And really I'm looking at Andrews more than anything else because he just gets in just a unique area of the zone. And I've picked up like 5-10 yards with that particular play. The other whip on the other side takes longer to develop. So watch likely. He kind of gets out there and then he kind of comes in. So it might be something to go ahead and just, you know, blend into when he quick snap into this play. But it just takes a little bit longer to develop, so it's something I don't really look too much because usually in this type of situation I want to pick up 5 or 6 yards or so. But watch likely he's going to get some separation. See how I have to wait for that to develop. I would have already gotten rid of the ball on the left side with Andrews. So this route, I'm throwing the ball right now. So I don't really have anybody. The ball's already out for the most part. I'm already throwing the ball out. But you can see how I have to wait for this route to develop and get cleared out. And then you can see he's wide open, but it just takes longer to develop. So that's what I don't like about that particular route concept. So let's see if we can hit likely again. Probably not getting any rush. We do have an edge presser. So you can see this is a nice little whip concept that you can use you know, against your opponent, just to keep them honest, like with short yardage distances. Now, mesh spot, similar to what we've shown before, with mesh spot against man coverage, get over the top of it. Got an opportunity to go ahead and get yourself a nice little completion against your opponent. Didn't lead that ball enough, didn't loft it enough against them. But let's go ahead and jump into that again. Got us clear out with flowers. But what's cool about this is you've got, you know, the underneath route that you can throw to. So these guys are coming off the edge right now with this blitz front. Not really allowing me to do what I want. But we'll go ahead and jump into that little crosser. Here you go. So just nice little mesh concept you can throw. So now you've got those inside whips coming back in. Now you guys are actually going into the mesh concept with this You've got flowers on the streak. Depending on the zones, you could do that. But you know, it's about hitting your flats against your opponent, doing little crossing routes with mesh. I don't really want to break that down too much already because I've already done that. Now here's the play action post cross, and what I want to do is I want to take Andrews and put him on a slant route, and really he's my hot read against man coverages. But it's all about this crossing route right here. Okay, so I forced it in there. I should have checked it down. Let's go ahead and see this again. So we can do a little slant route with Andrews. Do that. Okay, here's your crossing route. It takes a little bit longer. See how I got froze a little bit? Guy was sitting there on the hash and I was frozen. I couldn't actually get rid of the ball as quick as I wanted to. But this is the type of situation where you want to have this in your arsenal against your opponent. Here you go. Okay, so I'm not getting the animations I want to look to. Let's go ahead and see if we streak up this guy right here. If this clears out that top zone, it probably should. Yeah, these guys are just coming off the edge right there. So I'm not getting the animations I want. And the pressure against this Minnesota team is, you know, these guys are going to come off the edge and make me throw the ball a little bit quicker. But I want to clear out most of this stuff right here. Okay, here you go. Come on, dude. Why are you floating up there? Come on, man. So that I've you know what, I've labbed this a lot, and typically it will come off. Let's see. Let's just try to do this one more time and see if Bateman's going to come off clear. Man coverage. There we go. Got it. Okay, so not a very good example of consistency of this play. This is a play that I don't like to use too much, but it is something I blended in because I really didn't like any of the other plays in this particular formation. But it's just something that you can throw in. Okay, here we go. Now you got a little crossing route with man blitz. You could actually go and hit your opponent with a little crossing route like that. So we'll jump into some other formations, but I just wanted to show you this is kind of a rehash or new variation of this formation, this whole scheme that I've been using. Thanks a lot.